Right, I hope you all enjoyed our reunified Soviet Union 11 video. I'm having to make these videos quite far in advance since I'm going on a thoroughly deserved holiday and had to plan ahead. So if the USSR video tanked, this was a bad idea. Anyhow, if it was a roaring success, and if this is too, there are plenty of other directions we could take this Fantasy 11 series in once I'm back, from a Roman Empire or Mongol Empire 11 to something completely different, like a Yorkshire 11 if the county gained independence, or a Catalonia 11 if the region were to formally gain independence from Spain. As you can see, the opportunities are endless, but today's video is all about the British Empire. The largest empire in human history, at its zenith, the British Empire included so many countries that I won't even bore you by naming them all, but some of the most significant, from a footballing perspective, were Australia, Canada, Egypt, Ghana, Jamaica, Nigeria, the USA, the Republic of Ireland, and then the home nations of England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. So we can draw upon players from any of those nations, among others, and our starting 11 and subs are based on current ability. Here is our fantasy British Empire national football team. Goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford. Between the sticks, we're still not really spoilt for choice and have ended up opting for England's number 1 Jordan Pickford. There were other options like Matt Ryan from Australia, Zach Steffen from the US, and Craig Gordon from Scotland, but we're not convinced any of them are better than Pickford. The Everton goalkeeper had a very impressive World Cup with the 3 lines, but has made a few high-profile mistakes so far this season. Left back, Andy Robertson. I put up a poll on Twitter with a few of our options for the left back spot without telling anyone why they were possible candidates, and Andy Robertson won it by an absolute mile. Perhaps that should come as no surprise, he's very popular at Liverpool, who have a lot of fans, and he's made a real impression since being handed his chance by Jurgen Klopp. I really like Robertson going forward, but I still think he's there to be got at by a quality white man, and I think Danny Rose is the better fullback when he's at 100%. He isn't at 100% now though, so we'll bow down to mob rule and give the Tartan army some representation in the form of Andy Robertson in our 11. Centre back, Joe Gomez. England alone have 3 quality centre backs, so whittling it down to 2 so that we could play with the back 4 in our 11 wasn't easy. Aged 21, Joe Gomez has only won 6 caps for England and he's yet to reach 50 league appearances for Liverpool, but he still gets in our team. The former Charlton man looked so classy and composed earlier this season prior to picking up his injury, and with the right application and a slice of luck, there's no reason he couldn't go on to win 100 caps for England. Centre back, John Stones. The one centre back of whom there can be no doubts about his status as a nailed-on starter, John Stones is a player we like a lot. Still only 24, the Barnsley-born defender has been through a lot, including criticism of both Everton and Man City. Some of it justified, but he's come out at the end of it as a really good footballer who hasn't altered his ideals. I love a ball-playing centre-half, and Stones is just that, so he walks into our 11. Right back, Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker was played at centre-back during the World Cup, with Kieran Trippier taking the right-back or wing-back spot, and he faces competition from both Trippier and arguably Seamus Coleman here. We're pretty confident in who we'd have though, and that's Walker. Far more effective at right-back than centre-back, Walker has sensational pace and is a constant outlet down the right flank, so he gets the nod from us. Holding midfield, Declan Rice. After a fair bit of careful consideration, I think Declan Rice is already worthy of a starting berth in our 11, and not just to annoy the Irish guy on HITC Sport. At the age of 20, Rice is the real deal, and I'm more impressed every time I watch him. Also, as an England fan, I have to say I'm quietly pretty happy about his decision, since England aren't exactly blessed with world-class holding or central midfield players. Rice is versatile, strong and smart in possession, and even if he didn't make our starting 11, the West Ham man would be an excellent squad player. Holding midfield, James Milner. We needed 2 sitters in our midfield, and when you see our selections further up the field, you'll understand why. Whilst Rice would be the true sitter in front of our back 4, Milner is a little bit more of a box-to-box player, but he'd have to play a little deeper for us than he tends to under Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. Milner is obviously a tireless worker, and the former England international would bring an added sense of bite and energy to our midfield. Left wing, Gareth Bale. Our first Welsh representation, there's no way that we could leave Gareth Bale out of our starting 11 since he's arguably our most talented player on his day. Bale joined Real Madrid for a world record fee back in 2013 and has since scored almost a goal every other game, en route to winning the Champions League 4 times in just 5 full seasons. That only tells half the story sadly, however, as the former Tottenham man's game time has been heavily limited by injuries. He's still a wonderful talent and a big game player who we're not going to leave out though. Attacking midfield, Raheem Sterling. The strength that we have out on the flanks prevents us from playing Raheem Sterling in his favourite position, and he faces competition from the likes of Dele Alli, Aaron Ramsey and Jesse Lingard in attacking midfield. There's absolutely no way he's missing out altogether though, as one of the most prolific and productive players in the Premier League and one of the most talented we have at our disposal. Sterling has gone from strength to strength under Pep Guardiola, and whilst only Mohamed Salah and Harry Kane had more combined goals and assists than him in the Premier League last season, only Mohamed Salah, Sergio Aguero and Eden Hazard have more this season. Right wing, Mohamed Salah. Speaking of Mohamed Salah, the Egyptian king comfortably takes our right wing position in what is rapidly turning into a star-studded attacking lineup. Once a struggling squad player at Chelsea, Salah is now the most prolific wide man in English football and one of the most feared on the planet. Quick, good on the ball, intelligent with his movement, and most importantly, clinical in front of goal, Salah has been sensational for the last couple of years, and it'd be madness not to include him. Centre forward, Harry Kane. Despite the presence of Mohamed Salah and Gareth Bale in this 11, one could argue we've saved the best until last, and that man is Harry Kane. One of the top 3 out-and-out centre forwards in world football right now, Kane's rise has been phenomenal, and he just keeps on scoring goals. I often say that the most noticeable attribute of Harry Kane is his absolute resilience in the face of missed chances or goal droughts. The Tottenham man just looks unmoved by it all, his confidence never seems to take a hit, he keeps on doing the right things, he never looks afraid to shoot, and inevitably, the goals follow. The one-season wonder has already hit 20 plus goals for the 5th consecutive season this term, aged 25. Having bagged over 40 last season. Kane would come close to making my world 11, so there can be no doubt that he makes our British Empire 11. Substitutes. As with our Soviet Union video, in case we've made any mistakes, we do of course have our 7 subs to fall back upon. In goal, again, we're not blessed with options, but we'd probably still go for Jack Butland, who looks set to become a really top-class goalkeeper at one time, but is now struggling down in mid-table in the Championship with Stoke City. Harry Maguire can consider himself very unfortunate to have missed out on our starting 11 given his 2018 World Cup heroics and his ability to bring the ball out of defence, and it was a tight call between him and Joe Gomez. The Liverpool man got the nod, which means Maguire is a definite inclusion on our bench. In the fullback position, we could choose from the likes of Kieran Trippier and Kieran Tierney, but I said how good I thought Danny Rose was on his day, so the Spurs left back makes our bench, along with Juventus-bound Aaron Ramsey. Ramsey is reportedly set to become the best paid British footballer of all time in Turin, which seems a little wild, but he's a good player and someone we'd love to have waiting in the wings. Next up is our first uncapped inclusion, Bundesliga wide man Leon Bailey. There had been much talk of whether Bailey was able to represent England in the past, but having been born in Jamaica, there can be no doubts that he'd be eligible for a place in our British Empire 11, although he'll have to keep on playing at a fantastic level to keep Jadon Sancho out of the side for long. Our 2 final substitutes, and I apologise to our Indian followers for Sunil Chetri not squeaking in since I know how much you adore him, are both Englishmen, in the forms of Dele Alli and Marcus Rashford. Ali is a brilliant footballer, devilishly clever, widely underrated, and still very young. Rashford is obviously even younger, although less established, but he's shown just what he's capable of when given a chance through the middle under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So that's it for our British Empire 11. Some really good players like Kieran Tierney, Christian Pulisic, and Jesse Lingard missed out on the squad altogether, and I've no doubt you will all have very different opinions. So let us know what your 11 would look like, how you think this group of players would get on at a World Cup, and any future video ideas that you may have in the comments. Thanks for watching, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and obviously make sure you subscribe to HITC Sevens. You really would be mad not to.